Testing 1 to 12. All right, I guess I'm giving this finally a shot, the podcast. I don't know. As of now, I'm just going to have this on YouTube and yeah, go from there. I'll probably post it so you can just get the audio off a site and a link. So yeah, but this is the Danni Dolphin podcast. But yeah, welcome. And yeah, I'll try to see how this goes. I don't know if I'll be any good at this. I mean, I know I can talk a lot, so that's kind of one of the reasons I got into it or thought I could do it. But yeah, and we'll see how this goes. I want to talk about a whole bunch of things, Transformers, trans-related stuff, a whole bunch of stuff, nerdy, geeky. Put some VHS stuff back in this. Put the VHS stuff back in the works. I'll be speaking on some retro stuff like that here. And yeah, that way I can do that stuff. And, enough people want to see the VHS. It's not a ton, but, this is a way I can talk about some stuff like that, throw some videos up. I'll have the full length posted of this podcast on here. And then, yeah, I think I'll do some segments like Transformers and the VHS stuff I'll post separately as well, but there'll be the long segment and then just a couple segments from each podcast posted on the channel, which will give the channel a bit more life. And that's kind of what I'm going for with this. I'd like to give the channel a bit more life and, more videos up because my other videos take a long time for me to make. So hoping this helps out in that department. Now, some inspiration for the podcast. Not to say really why I got into it, but people that inspire me that had podcasts and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely Opie and Anthony. That's definitely one of the top podcasts. I know it's so weird for some people to hear. If you're a fan of that stuff, Opie and Anthony was a radio show out of New York. And yeah, it was very, it was just very crazy. Like, they'd say whatever. It was back in the day of comedy when, like, you could say whatever to anyone and no one was offended. It was the golden age of comedy, basically. And yeah, I love them. Their show was so funny. I still watch it and laugh. And, Patrice O'Neal's from there. I love Patrice O'Neal. Black Phillip. He had some great, Patrice O'Neal's a comedian that's connected to the Cellar Crowd that is connected to Opie and Anthony and their show. So yeah, they're just fantastic comedians. And yeah, Joe Rogan. I watch a lot of Joe Rogan. I think Joe Rogan is pretty awesome. I love Joe Rogan. I love all the crazy people he has on there, himself included. I love to hear with Graham Hancock and what really happened 12,000 years ago. And yeah, Joe Rogan has cool people on there, from the DMT stories to the UFOs. I mean, Joe, he's doing a good thing. Joe's the man, that's for sure. Also, for Transformers podcast, I absolutely love Transformers Slag podcast. Shout out to them. They have nothing to do with me. I have nothing to do with them, but they're fantastic. The guy on there, Proto Man, he knows so much stuff. I just can't believe his knowledge in Transformer stuff and all the stuff he's done for the community. And yeah, if you're looking for a strictly Transformer podcast, you got to check them out. They're fantastic. Skateboarding podcast I love is the 9 Club. Shout out. I used to skateboard when I was a kid, so I love skateboarding. And yeah, it's so cool. The 9 Club is a great skateboarding podcast. They have like hours and hour long podcasts talking to skateboarders, which is, pretty funny actually. Really good though. It's very in depth. They had Tony Hawk on there. Bam Margera. Oh, I can't even speak. You know me. I'm kind of a flubbered when it comes to words. So. But yeah, they're just a cool podcast as well. And yeah, I just like to say this too. Like, I want to bring this up every time, like some sort of buffer. But it is me. It is Danni Dolphin. Like, I want to get on that. I don't want to be like, say profanities on here or get too crazy like that. But I do want to say, like, I was born mid-'80s. I grew up through the 90s. I kind of want this to have like a 90s retro feel. Like, I want to be able to say things and people just don't take it all to heart. Maybe I'm just joking. Know that I joke a lot and I do use humor. But, I just like to have fun with this type of stuff and see where it all goes and, bring up things and just, if I want to talk trans stuff or my ideals, like, just remember, this is my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. I watch so many things and I love different opinions. Even if I don't agree with people, I'm not like that. I don't care about agreeing with everyone. I love different opinions and I love hearing people's sides and angles. And I think this, I think that we just need more of that, It's very cool. So yeah, just remember that, I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to give a honest opinion about things and not get your panties in a knot, mate. Just chill. Take things and chill. But yeah, a Q&A segment I'd like to get into for sure from the people, and some other stuff, some Transformers stuff, and then yeah, we'll kind of go from there and break this down. But thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me all this way. If you've been here through how many subscribers when I started, and if you're here from the original days, if you're new here, welcome to the pod. We love ya. No, this is a place where everyone can get along and be nerdy and have fun, and share their own opinions and not get try not to fight. I find a lot of people, they'll have a little back and forth once in a while, but it's not too bad. It's just people are respectful, and that's all. Yes, just be respectful. I mean, even if you don't respect it, right? Even if you don't respect it, try to just be respectful for now. I mean, while we're on here, just having a good time, goofing around, playing around, right? This isn't so serious. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm good at stuff like this, but I just wanted to try it out and see how it goes. And yeah, guess that's what we're doing. Alrighty then, we'll move into the Q&A part. Thank you for answering questions. I mean, I wish I got a few more questions, and yeah, we'll probably do this for the next video as well. So if you have any more Q&A questions, put them down in the comments below with your other comments on here, and yeah, we'll get to them on the next episode next week. So yeah. So first out, special shout out to Steve Green. He asks, favorite character from Beast Machines Transformer show. Mine is Tankor. Beast Machines. Let me think. That's tough. Beast Machines. I really don't know. I mean, Cheetor probably. I've had to pick a character for sure. Cheetor, I guess, because Cheetor was pretty cool in it. I mean, everyone else. I mean, I like some of the Viacons as well, but I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of Beast Machines, even though I don't hate on it necessarily at all. I know it has like great philosophy, and they go into some pretty abstract thinking things. It's actually pretty in-depth for Transformers. It's pretty in-depth actually, but it's just one of those things where like I just never really loved any of the characters. Yeah, like the Viacons, Jet, whatever his name was, the Viacon Jet. What was his name? I better should look that up. The guy in the Jet. Yeah, so it was Jetstorm. Yeah, I like Jetstorm actually. Jetstorm and Cheetor, probably my favorite. I liked how Cheetor, like he was kind of like Cheetor. He was kind of like the one that was in charge for, he took over for Optimus because Optimus was getting like, I don't know, delusional from all that meditating in the state that he was in. But awesome question, Steve Green. Thanks for answering. Go give Steve Green a follow. He's a huge supporter and friend of mine already. Known him for quite a while now, and yeah, he's a very generous guy and cool guy. So thank you so much for asking that question, Beast Machines. Gotta watch it again, I guess. Alrighty. Breakthrough TV. What's your favorite food/snack? I'm obsessed with donuts. Donuts are good. But yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, no, I do know. I love my favorite candy, like favorite candy to nibble on is sour keys. Like I love sour keys. Like I know they're so bad for your teeth, but there's just a part of me that whatever that sour taste is, I just love. I've always loved sour keys ever since I was a kid. Like I'll just get a bag of them and eat them. Sour candies, but definitely sour keys in general, especially the ones they used to make in the 90s that burned your mouth and tongue, and like your skin would be so raw from them. But I mean, your mouth skin would be so raw from them, but they were so delicious. I really love sour keys. And then for food, I'd say definitely pizza. I love pizza and hot wings. Oh. But yeah, pizza. I'm a pizza addict. Like, being born in the 80s and, growing up with Ninja Turtles, pizza was like the biggest food in the early 90s and, continued throughout the 90s actually. But yeah, pizza was the thing. I love pizza. Yeah, pizza's delicious. Like I said, I also like some chicken wings. And yeah, I don't know. I do like chocolate stuff as well, but like I said, sour keys for sure and pizza. If I was stranded on an island I'd be good with sour keys and pizza. Thank you for asking Breakthrough TV. I was actually on their website, on his YouTube channel. He has an awesome YouTube channel. He supports all LGBTQ and amongst other things. So he's a huge supporter and an awesome guy. And I've actually talked to him when I did a video for them that's on there. And yeah, go check out their channel. Go check out my video on his channel and Breakthrough TV. Yeah, awesome guy. Fantastic. Really nice guy and very supportive. And yeah, I just think it's honorable to be out there, you know, putting yourself out there and putting yourself and backing people that are different, from trans to the mentally ill to the trans mentally ill. But yeah, thanks again, and go give him a follow. That'd be awesome. Or subscribe if you like his content. So thank you, Breakthrough TV. We have Steve Green. Steve Green's here with another question. Is your mom going to be in any more videos? She was hilarious at the supermarket. Yeah, I'd love for my mom to be on the podcast. I'd love for my mom to be in more videos. Sometimes when we see each other, it can be quick or rushed, and yeah, we just don't get the time to pull out the camera. But hopefully soon we could go on a Value Village hunt, a Walmart hunt, and I can get her cracking some jokes. But every time I pull out the camera for this lady, she just becomes a movie star on the spot. It's like, I don't know if she's playing it up for the camera or, you know what I mean? It's like, you pull out a camera and she's just posing already, So, but I know she means well. She's a great mom, and we have lots of fun together now. And yeah, it's like back when I was like a little kid with her, we were really close. And before gender affected you and stuff like that, we were really close. And we went through some dark times fighting and stuff. But now we're just as close as we used to be when I was a small little dolphin. And yeah, she's an awesome mom. She's funny. She gave me my personality. She gave me everything. She gave me every violent movie possible at 3 years old. I had every Nerf gun and cap gun, and I turned out just normal and fine, didn't I? So it's funny at where I work or whatever, someone says that they're like, I don't like my kids playing with any guns. I don't want my kids playing with any I don't want my kids playing with watching violent stuff or playing violent games or having any guns. And I always tell them, well, I played with every violent weapon and I watched every violent movie. And look, I came out just fine, didn't I? And these people, you should see their jaws drop. Like, these people are just horrified with this comment, They're like, oh my God. But, whatever. Take it. But yeah, Steve Green, if you wanted to ask a few questions, go ahead. Like I said, for the next podcast, get your questions in, be featured, and shout it out. Whoa, dude, you're so cool, bro. Grub Gun, another good friend of mine that I met online, fantastic person. Oh yeah, awesome. Check out their channel. They do some awesome stuff. He streams, and there's some streaming going on, and yeah, it's so much fun stuff. Yeah, very nice and cool nerd, nerdy people out there. Nerds unite. But yeah, check out Grub Gun's channel, and yeah, really cool person I've got to know, and yeah, have him on Facebook, and yeah, a whole bunch of stuff like that. So it's really cool. Always in the comments, always supporting here, always asking and giving his opinion, which I absolutely love. I love when people give me their opinions. Give it to me, baby. Give me your opinion. But so Grub Gun asks, I'm so looking forward to the podcast. I work night shift and always listening to something, but if I'm able to listen to some Danny at work, will be dope as it gets. So here it goes. What's your favorite video game series, and what's the most amount of time you've ever put into a single game? Okay, those are the first questions, but what's your favorite video game series? That's tough. I like so many things in so many different systems, and I don't really necessarily have favorites. Like, I can say on Super Nintendo, my absolute favorite game is Donkey Kong Country 1. But yeah, some of my favorite series, though, on the NES is, the Ninja Turtles series. I know the first game's kind of blah, but I really love Ninja Turtles Arcade and Ninja Turtles Manhattan Project. Those are some of my favorite fighting games of all time. And yeah, I love Ninja Turtles. But yeah, I don't know. I can say it's just I like so many different things at so many different times and retro stuff. But yeah, I'm not a big Final Fantasy person. Like, I have some of the games, but like I'm not big on a certain series necessarily. I do know the single game that I put the most amount of time into, though. It was Gears of War. Gears 1, 2, and 3 I played religiously. I didn't even play other things when those games came out. I ran a huge... I guess clan. We never officially were a clan, but we did roll like that. We had everyone had a position, everyone had a nickname, everyone had a name, and yeah, we ran it hard, multiplayer for hours and hours and hours on end. I mean, 15-hour days, 6 days a week type of stuff, like when I wasn't working or time off because I was doing the film set work, so you have the whole summer off and you just play an infinite amount. I'd be screaming at people till 4 in the morning every day, belittling people, putting people down in every single way I could just to make them win for the game. And, that's what it was about back then. That's before I transitioned. That was early 2000s, from 2006 on. Until the end of Gears 3, never got into Gears 4 as much. Once I transitioned, it became the new me. The new me, don't you like the new me, mate? But yeah, once I became the new me, I got a lot. You gotta kind of be negative to be in that mindset, especially in those days, because now everyone just is muted on their party channel or whatever in their secret little parties. But back then, when you had to trash talk people and it was a war, you had to be vile, you had to be hateful in a sense, and yeah, I just don't like that part of me anymore. I can actually physically even do it, to tell you the truth. I've tried to play a few games with people and I just too many bad memories, and I don't want to be that me anymore. It's not about, I know when I brought the channel out, I wanted it to be a positive channel, and this is before everyone's like positive, be positive. It's yeah, okay, I get that, but it's good to be positive in a sense, but you still want to be real, on this channel too, as positive as I like to be or whatever. I do break it down, and I try to, if I'm down or whatever and I have opinions, I try to share them as much as possible and just be as real as I can with y'all, because I just love creating, that's why I started this stuff. I love creating, and I guess Gears of War, definitely 1, 2, and 3, I spent the most time ever. I mean, my ex would get so mad at me, won't you just stop playing? And I would never stop playing. I would play for hours on end. I mean, hours and hours and hours, non-stop playing of Gears of War. It was it ruined probably part of my relationship, it ruined part of my health. I mean, I was so addicted at this point. Now I would never do that. I would never play a game for 14 hours long, 5 days in a row, just because I wanted to. I love, I am more of a collector, and I play a lot of my stuff, but I mostly play retro stuff I can just put down. I'll play a little Mario, I'll play a little Turtles in Time on my own, and then I'll put my stuff down, or I'll play a little Donkey Kong or stuff like that. So I'll just play a bit and then put it down. But those were the dark times, 2007, 2000, I'd say 8 and 9 and 10, when I was living in Vancouver with my ex. I played hours and hours and hours. We had crews of people. We had so many people trying to get into the party. We had 2 simultaneous parties going on at once, right? 2 parties going on at once with 14 people or 12 people in each party, or whatever the max was back in the day on 360, and everyone was trying to get into the room, and it was just crazy, man. It was it was just a good old time, but hours and hours and hours of time committed to this stuff. Which, sometimes you gotta put it down and enjoy real life, go outside, do what you like. I mean, I still like to play a lot of games. I still do, but I'm not playing 14 hours. I'm working on content, I'm going to work, I'm playing games, I'm trying to be more social, and that's what it's about. But thank you so much, Grub Gun, once again, for asking these questions. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting. I hope the podcast is all right so far. I know it's going to be a little rough, probably the first few or whatever, but I'll get them out there. And like I said, it's just more content, more stuff to listen to. And thanks for asking. Go check out Grub Gun's channel. That would be fantastic. So the next question is from Mike. Blind Hostility on Twitter. So go follow him on Twitter. And he also has a podcast, J&M Something Nothing Show podcast. So go check out his podcast, and yeah, check out him on Twitter. And yeah, it's so cool to check out other people's stuff and seeing what other people are all about. But yeah, Mike asks, what made you want to start a podcast? Well, I think it's just because mostly, like I've said before, that I wanted to do something where I could put out content more weekly, like, you know, even if it's just me just blabbering about something or this and that, just something to do to put out more weekly so I could have this plus a Transformers review plus another game or a boxing or a game video or something like that, you know, like to get in the mix so I could have multiple, you know, once a week podcast style video. Plus a Transformers video for sure, and something else maybe if I can, and that would be goal, like 3 videos or so a week for now. Or, you know, if I put out segments of these, you know, there'll be a few videos out now, and just give the channel some more life, you know. It's just me, of course, now doing all this stuff, and yeah, not a lot of help from friends. You know, a lot of people that have helped me, I'm not talking to them anymore, or stuff like that. People drift apart, I understand, so but yeah, just something else I can add to the channel that's just, you know, I can throw this together and work on some stuff and get some more opinions out, because I'm like, oh, I want to start a video about, I want to do a topic about this, but this kind of seems out of place. But on here, you know, I can just do it whatever style I want, put it into whatever style I want. So, you know, it's not so out there for me just to talk about something. Like if I do a single YouTube video and I'm like, oh, I'm talking about this now, and it's not related to what I'm doing, it's kind of just so out there. And it's good to have, like, try different things, but, you know, this way I can just, like, yeah, talk about different topics, and yeah, it'll all be on, you know, just the podcast style format. So yeah, I guess another way just to get more content out and talk about things that I normally wouldn't get to talk about, because yeah, just can't fit them into my regular type of videos and stuff. So, but of course this will have no effect on the other content, always be unboxings and Transformers, and yeah, hopefully some more gaming content as well. Mike also asks, what made you fall in love with Transformers? I guess just like I was talking about my mom earlier, it's just, yeah, when I was 3 years old, especially remember at 3, I probably saw Transformers at 2 and 1, but I don't remember as much. But I do remember at 3, I just watched them on TV, and I thought it was amazing. Like, you know, Ninja Turtles was cool, and the next huge fad to take over, and everybody became a Ninja Turtles freak. But, you know, something about Transformers, just like, it was a bit more serious, the show. Like, as a kid, you thought it was more serious than Turtles. Like, Turtles was like, everyone's goofing off or whatever. But on Transformers, it was like a bit more serious, and just how they transformed, and just how much character everyone had. From, like, Starscream to Megatron to Grimlock. Like, just how much, you know, character they had, and just how the show looked. And there was the good, there was the bad. It was the ultimate battle, and you had me, Grimlock, and, like, you know, Starscream and Megatron and Soundwave and the whole crew. You know, I definitely like Decepticons always more, but, you know, it was just a fantastic show. Of course, Optimus Prime, I think my mom was like a huge Optimus Prime fan, and she got me into Transformers. But the only thing was, like, back then Transformers were expensive. I never had a lot as a kid. I got some at like kind of flea markets or thrift stores when we could find them, but for the most part, like, you know, I was born 1986. That's when the movie stuff was out, so I didn't get any of the original stuff. And by then, I didn't even know about the movie, the 1986 Transformers movie, until much later. But yeah, when I was younger, I just watched the show on TV, and yeah, you couldn't find any of those figures necessarily, or much of them, like maybe Starscream, but they're expensive, like Canadian dollars. Like, yeah, my family, like, we just didn't have money for that. You know, other toys were a lot cheaper, like Ninja Turtles and, you know, other things of that era. And yeah, but, you know, Transformers, just seeing it as a kid, and, like, it just, you know, how they could change. Like, I've said this before, and, you know, how they could change. Like, I think I like that idea that they could change, being trans myself. I know it's ridiculous, trans dash Transformers, trans something, you know, me and my trans and Transformers, but, you know, when you get into that area, it's like, I did like that they could change into something else. You know, they didn't have to stay in their normal form. They could change. And yeah, it probably had an effect on me subconsciously at 3 years old as I contemplated the universe. Kidding, but you know what I mean? It's like, you had ideas, and it's just, you're grown to, you know, I was, you know, just memorized by this stuff as a kid. And I wanted the figures, man. Like, I remember seeing some in stores and just being so depressed I couldn't have them. I remember this one time I wanted these ones with my grandma, and I just think we couldn't afford it. But yeah, I had some stuff. I got some little Micro Masters eventually and some stuff like that. But it's just like, they were so like there was no eBay and stuff back then as well, so it was like, you know, word of mouth, or you like your friend would have a broken transformer, a broken piece of a transformer, you know, Starscream with no, like, all the pieces missing or whatever, and it was just like, it was just so cool to see, because you couldn't just go online and look at this stuff. You had to know someone that had a broken one, or you'd see one at it somewhere, and it was just, yeah, there's the mystery behind all the Transformers. Yeah, I absolutely loved the show. As soon as I saw it, I fell in love. I still remember the first days of ever seeing it, and absolutely, you know, being head over heels for it. So awesome questions, Mike. I hope I answered them good enough. And so yeah, go check out J&M Something and Nothing show. Cool podcast, cool people, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. So thank you once again, Mike, for the questions. All right, another question from Transformers and Video Games. I love this guy's channel. Sorry if I don't know your name. I forget your name, but I watch a lot of your videos. I love him. Yeah, your collection is outstanding. Go check out Transformers and Video Games. He used to have another channel, but I think it got shut down, and he started his new channel. But he is awesome, very kind, very cool guy, and accepting, and blah 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 blah. But yeah, very cool. Go check out his channel. I love he's out there. His knowledge is deep. His passion. This guy is passionate like no other. About the toys too, like he's just a passionate guy. Love his collection. Jealous, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, like, I wish I was envious. I'm just pure jealous. But no, awesome stuff there, man. And yeah, he says, "Hi, Danny. Here's a question for you. Q&A. I've been following your channel for quite a while now, but I never heard you mention why it is that you like dolphins so much. Looking forward to hearing what you say. Cheers, mate." You know what? I do like dolphins. I kind of imagine myself as a dolphin, forced to entertain type of thing. Even when someone's forcing me. But, you know, dolphins, they have that grin all the time. You always think they're happy. You always think that they're smiling even when they're not. And I kind of try to put that on. I like to put on a smile for people even when I'm very depressed myself. And the dolphin is, you know, an animal I do really like. I like how they're smart, and they could be doing great things if they were on land. Joe Rogan talked about this recently. You know, they can't manipulate their environment, he said, because they're stuck underwater. You know, but they might be more technical. They might have made some technology by now if they were walking around on land, you know, these crazy dolphins. But yeah, there's a few other, like, you know, backstory and stuff I should not get into right now. Or sometimes it's better left a mystery. But yeah, I just like the name Danni Dolphin. It's just the way it is, the way I go by, you know. It's like, it's a silly name. It means I can bring up anything, all my content, you know, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, like everything I do. It's just Danni Dolphin. It's like, it's just me. You're experiencing it with me, you know. If it's Transformers, video games, booty pics. You know what I mean? It's just what I'm all about. And yeah, like I said, something about how they like to perform. And yeah, just a few other things in the past. But yeah, it's just a funny thing, I guess. I don't know. Dolphins, they like to entertain. Or like, you know, they're forced to entertain us. And I feel like, you know, I'm a dolphin. I like to entertain, and I hide behind a grin, a smile, mate. But yeah, Transformers and video games, awesome question. Yeah, I hope I answered it good enough. But yeah, go check out their channel. Yeah, amazing channel, amazing guy, and yeah, very cool, very knowledgeable, and yeah, gotta love anyone with the passion that he has. So yeah, go check him out. And yeah, next question. Next question comes from VGamer11. I haven't been on the channel in a good while, sorry about that, but I do have a couple of questions. The first one is, have you ever seen Lindsay Ellis's The Whole Plate series? It's a series of video essays that look at the Bayformer films through this film study lens, feminist theory, etc. If you have, what do you think of the series? So yeah, nothing against that. Lindsay Ellis, or whatever he said. Sorry if I'm slaughtering names. That's what I do. I'm Slaughterhouse. Slim Shady Slaughterhouse. But yeah, no. I seen her videos. Yeah, it's just a lot for me to take in. Like I said, don't be offended, don't cry, but, you know, I am more of a 90s child. I'm more of a misogynist at heart. Hashtag bring back misogyny. But, you know, so I can't really relate to this. And sometimes just listening to her, yeah, she's fine. Good stuff. Good production. Yeah, very smart girl, obviously. But just not my style. But, yeah. I couldn't get into it at all, and yeah, definitely bring back misogyny movement. So yeah, it's a little hard for me to take some of that type of stuff, feminist stuff, but hey, what can you do? Good series and stuff that she makes. If you're into it, you probably love it. So yeah, nothing against anyone, just not my thing. And then the rest of the question says, I asked this because I love these kind of analysts of Transformers, but I can't find anyone who feels the same way. Well, sorry to let you down, dog. I really am. Like, yeah, I don't feel the same way. I mean, all I want is Transformers to be the main part of the movies. Like, I don't care about the humans. Like, the humans, if they want to add a Spike or one human here and there, and like, you know, the shots aren't all about the humans, then sure, add the human. And if they're in a bikini and they have their TNA out, wow, that's not too bad, as long as it doesn't destroy the movie or anything. I mean, it'll distract you a little, but I mean, like, whatever, I don't care. But I want it to be centered around the Transformers, first of all, just like the TV show. I want the shots to be high up, like, you know, with the Transformers, not a down low perspective from people. That's dumb. Like, I don't even know why they ever got into that, but it just doesn't work. People want the Transformers as the stars. It is called Transformers, and it's not called The Humans with Transformers. It is Transformers. So Transformer, get out of here, boy. But yeah, awesome question, V Gamer. Go check out their channel. And yeah, sorry, I probably let you down there a little bit, but sorry about that. But yeah, go check out their channel, and awesome questions. I hope we get some more questions in for next week. So put your questions down below with your other comments, and yeah, hopefully get to them. I get to them next video. So yeah, this was the Q&A little segment of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll get into some other stuff I'd like to bring up. And yeah, I guess this is how it's gonna be. I'm trying my best not to hate on myself and hate what I'm talking about and hate everything I've said, but what can I do? I'm just a little dolphin in the stew. But yeah, thank you for listening so far. So yeah, now we can get into some Transformers stuff, news. Even though this is late or new or whatever, I don't mind talking about it. I just like to share what I think, and I'm not gonna do like every single thing that comes out or anything like that. It's just the stuff that catches my eye, and new Transformers figures, obviously, and some Transformers news, stuff like that. So yeah, and the first off, I like to talk about the Transformers Masterpiece MP-13 Soundwave with Laserbeak. It's being reissued. It's the Takara Tommy brand. So yeah, it's the Takara Tommy one that came out before. It was a little harder to get. The one that they released at Toys R Us came with all the cassettes. This just comes with the loyal companion, the red Laserbeak. But yeah, Laserbeak is sick, and yeah, I never jumped on this back in the day when it was originally released. I remember seeing it. I just wasn't into Transformers as much, especially the Masterpiece. I was collecting some G1 stuff, but you know, I really wanted this figure even though I didn't get it. And yeah, I'd rather have this one because it is more animation. Like, it's more true to the animation. You know, he's the red eyes and other subtleties like that. So he is definitely the one that came out at Toys R Us had the yellow eyes. That is more like toy accurate, but this is like animation accurate, and it has loyal Laserbeak. Laserbeak returns, Megatron. But yeah, it's just Laserbeak is awesome, and yeah, I'd like to track down some other cassettes for him, which could be pricey, but I'll just wait on that. Maybe they'll re-release some new ones of that as well, so I don't have to pay the over crazy you know, prices that they have on eBay and Amazon. But yeah, I love this figure. He looks fantastic. Yeah, just go look him up. You know, if you're not watching this podcast on YouTube or whatever, yeah, I can go look them up. But yeah, this is a great Masterpiece figure. It looks fantastic. It really does look like the show. I know some people don't like his little you know, upper where his legs are at top, like his hips joints can be a little, like, people are like scared that they'll break, but I mean, he looks so accurate. This is one of the Masterpiece figures that really, you know, one of the earlier ones too, and it just still does the job. It's fantastic. I've seen some new third-party Soundwaves coming out, and they looked pretty awesome too. But I do like to kind of stay on the Takara and Hasbro side, even though I do like fans toys and stuff like that. I mean, I never bought any, but they do look pretty amazing, and they're doing characters that we won't really get, more G1 characters, and yeah, Masterpiece right now is doing all of those Beast Wars figures, which, yeah, they look cool, but I'm just not into Beast Wars as much, and, I'd rather see them doing more G1 stuff. G1 is where the big fandom is from. I don't understand why they're not carrying on with that right now, but yeah, he turns into his little cassette player. That looks fantastic. It comes with his concussion blaster. It comes with the laser beak. It comes with a little Megatron gun and stuff like that, and some cassette tape. The cassette tapes in and stuff like that. So, yeah, cassette cases. And yeah, he just looks fantastic. I'm really stoked. I did pre-order this from BigBadToyStore.com, so I will be getting one, and I will be reviewing it for surezies. I'd like to get into some Masterpiece reviews down the road. And yeah, loud car outside right now. But yeah, this Masterpiece figure is fantastic. The blue, the gold, it's just something about it. It's so good. I can't wait to get this. And if something better comes down the road, then yeah, probably get that too. But I don't know. I like to keep my stuff, and even if I upgrade characters, I'd like to keep it. But I think this is a good thing for people that either got just the one from Toys R Us. They could maybe sell theirs and get now the more animated animation correct version of Soundwave. And yeah, it's really cool. I'm really happy they reissued this. Hopefully they'll reissue the tapes and reissue some other stuff with some other figures. That would be fantastic. And yeah, just so happy they're redoing this. The price tag right now, Canadian on Big Bad Toy Store. Oh no, I think it is in American. It's $149.99. So yeah, a little bit of money, but still that rate. I wanted to get them a while back, and it was like 400, 500. Going from all these, third-party sellers or eBay and Amazon, it's like, whoa, like, jack up the prices. And yeah, it's cool that it just comes with a laser beak. Buzzsaw's cool as well, but he wasn't really in the show, so I'm definitely happy to see Laserbeak, Ravage, Rumble, Frenzy and the Gang, Rat Bat. That would be hype. And yeah, if you missed out on this figure the first time around, this is the time to get him, and I'm gonna get him, and I'm just so stoked on this guy. And now I'm stoked on this podcast. Get to rant about some Transformers stuff that I love and really do love it. So yeah, let's check out some other Transformers news. So some new War for Cybertron figures revealed. So before San Diego Comic-Con, so that is pretty amazing. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, to tell you the truth. That leader class Astrotrain, that looks fantastic. I am so hyped on that leader class. I know these leaders are a bit smaller than the regular leaders, which I wish they weren't. I wish this was a huge leader class like they used to make Starscream Astrotrain, but he is fantastic. Like the colors are great. He looks so G1. Like I don't have it, and I love Astrotrain. He's one of the first G1s I got again when I started collecting with Drift, Astrotrain, Blitzwing, and yeah, I always loved Astrotrain in the show. Like it was so cool they turned into two different things, and I had a broken figure back in the day as a kid, and yeah, I cherished it. It was like some of the wings were broken and such, but I still loved it, and I played with it all the time. And yeah, he is fantastic. Like his train mode, it's a real train. It's not a bullet train this time, like in the Titans Return one. I never got that figure. I think like it just depressed me. Like the jet mode, the space shuttle mode looked like flat and weird, and nothing really like the original. And the train was a bullet train, but it just looked like a mess. It just looked like a block or something. I don't know. Never was a fan, and I love Astrotrain. So they're really doing Astrotrain some justice in this one. You got to check out these pictures if you're just listening to this. But Astrotrain, leader class for War for Cybertron. Yeah, the train, it's a regular steam engine train. It looks great. His colors pop. The space shuttle mode, sick. And the robot mode, ooh, they nailed it, sir. It's just very, accurate. Cartoon accurate, and yeah, I just really like it. It's so sick. Like, wow, Astrotrain, he's had quite a bit of figures, so it's pretty cool to see another one, but this is done right. This is like perfect. I really, really, really enjoy this Astrotrain, and yeah, I'm so happy to get my hands on that when that comes out. That'll be sick. One of the other releases shown was Voyager class Apeface. So Apeface was a headmaster and a triple changer. Yeah, he had a G1 toy. He's had small other toys, but nothing like a big real toy since basically the G1 days. So they made a small little figure of him in the Titans Return stuff, but nothing like this. This figure looks awesome. Like, makes me gonna go back and look at the original Apeface. I wish I had the original Apeface, but yeah, this figure, I love the colors on it. It's purple and pink, and it turns into he obviously turns into like a gorilla-like mode, and he also has a jet mode and his robot mode, so the triple change, and yeah, they did a good job on this figure as well. There's so much detail on it that it looks great. I know some people hate some of the detailing on these guys, either from the battle damage to, so many lines on the figure, but this one looks great. And the head mode in that ape it has like a big grin with a whole bunch of teeth. Like, it kind of reminds me of like Barney the dinosaur mixed with Cyclops. It's got that like one eye thing, but super ill. These are must-have, must-reviews, must-pick up. I love War for Cybertron. I'm loving this line. War for Cybertron is pretty dope. Like, these figures, like I said, if you're only listening to this, go check them out. And if you're into the War for Cybertron line already, I'm sure you will not be disappointed in these guys. They are pretty cool, and they really homage the G1 toy. It looks just like the G1 toy, but done for today's standards, and I just love it. I think you will love it as well. So yay for Apeface. So the other figure was a deluxe Spinster. So Spinster came out at the end of the G1 line. He's very cool colors, purple, pink, and like a light blue, a neonish kind of blue, bright blue. I don't know. His whole figure is very cool. He's a helicopter and a robot. And yeah, he was originally a Target Master. He came with two little Target Masters back in the day, and it looks like he just has guns on these ones, but the color of this guy and the head sculpt, this is the one, probably him and Astrotrain, I'm looking forward to the most out of these new exclusive figures that they're showing. His colors really pop, and if they're bringing back the C-Cons, he kind of goes with them with his colors. But yeah, he was a Decepticon, he's G1, and I really want to hunt down the G1 toy for this now. I know it goes for quite a bit, like $150 now Canadian, in very good condition, that's near mint and out of the box, of course. But yeah, this is the one figure I'm looking to. I love how he has the double blasters. They'll probably give him some other Target Master like things when they do the weapons for War for Cybertron, but I have to say, this figure is awesome. The little helicopter mode, his G1 figure, I have looked at many times before this and always been interested. And yeah, it's funny that he has these colors. It's kind of like G2, even though G2 didn't come out for years later. It's just, he's on the end of G1, and they had some pretty funky guys coming out back then. But like I said, this guy, I'm looking forward to the most. I really want to get my hands on him. And yeah, being deluxe class, it won't be too expensive, and yeah, I just hope they have a lot of these guys in the shelves for us to buy. So yeah, thank you, Spinstar. And the last figure here I'll talk about is DELUXE Crosshairs. I know there is a G1 toy of him. I'm not very familiar with it and all, but I do know that this mold, he has the Optimus Prime kind of colors, red and blue with black, but he is actually just retool slightly, or the same figure exactly as Ironhide. So he's just a basically Ironhide mode, and yeah, he's okay. I mean, he is what he is. I really like that Ironhide robot mode actually on this figure. It's like one of the Ironhides that I'm actually like, whoa, I'm stoked on Ironhide. And yeah, this guy is cool, really cool, like goggles, like Rainbow Six Siege kind of head sculpt, so that's really cool. And yeah, the robot mode, it's a Cybertronian van. They even have soccer mom vans on Cybertron. I'd fit in perfectly. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. I will pick him up. He is probably the least out of the bunch that I am stoked on. But hey, whatever. It's still cool figure. Cool Autobot. But yeah, Spinster for sure. Apeface as well. Oh, this Apeface. I can't get over it still. Oh. But an Astrotrain leader class. So yeah, that's going to be a blowout. Those are some amazing figures. I'm loving this War for Cybertron line, as I said before. I just really do. they're doing so many things right with this line and making Transformers, like the Generations line, popular again. It's so cool to see like people actually stoked on these figures. And like if you're just a kid buying these, like it's like homaging the old days, and you're getting a taste of what kids got back when we were kids. And they're making these figures now like how people wanted them, but with the articulation made for today, which is just fantastic. It's such a good line. Some of the battle damage stuff and some of the overdone lines on the figures, yeah, if they toned that down, I think they would be perfect. But some people like them, some people don't. It's kind of a, personal opinion thing, but I'm stoked on Cybertron. I am stoked to do more Transformers reviews. I am stoked on Transformer content in general, and love to do more. And this is the way I get to talk about these figures and give some of my opinions. And yeah, it's just, I guess this is what this is all about. And I'm so happy to be here doing this and gushing over these figures. And I just want to get my hands on them. I just want to do some reviews. I just want to do some toy hunt videos again, get back into that and see where this all goes. I'm just having so much fun. I'm having a blast again. And I just want to be so more creative as possible. If this podcast style videos allow me to like post more stuff, give more opinions, plus post my own old regular stuff, then so be it. And this War for Cybertron line at the same time, and I'm just out of my mind. So yeah, this is for everyone who liked the VHS and Memories video. I'd like to do more of them down the road. Maybe I can actually start doing some breakdowns of VHSs and movies again. But yeah, the older stuff, it doesn't get as many views. And yeah, you know what? I wish it did, or I wish more people liked it. But the amount of time I was putting in to make those videos and only getting not even 100 views at the time is like, but hey, maybe here I can just quickly, or whatever, extensively go over Robocop 2. Robocop 2 came out in 1990. The pinnacle of a generation. More like the beginning of chaos. But yeah, the 90s. This movie, it came out in 1990. I can't believe it. I probably saw it. I was born in 86. I probably saw it then, but yeah, one of my favorite movies. My mom would take me to the rental store. I would rent Robocop. She showed me Robocop. I loved Robocop, but then once I saw Robocop 2, it blew me away. I don't always like sequels more or anything, but this sequel, I just watched them recently, both the movies, and Robocop 1 is probably like a better regular movie at the end of the day or something to some people, but Robocop 2? Oh my god, it has Kane. Kane is like a villain he's like cult leader of this nuke. It's like a new drug called nuke, and he's like a cult leader of the drug community, and Robocop's hunting him down. And yeah, spoilers, of course, if you haven't seen this movie, but yes, Robocop's hunting him down, and he ends up, they end up like really messing up Robocop in Robocop 2. Like he tries to get Kane, and Kane ambushes him with all his goons, and they basically rip Robocop to shreds. And that was horrifying as a kid. I felt so bad for Murphy. Murphy is Robocop. He's a cyborg, and this takes place in Detroit. So shout out to Marshall Mathers, Eminem. Love me some Eminem, but yeah, this happens in Detroit. So Robocop, he gets totally destroyed, and then he wants revenge on them after he goes through some glitches and issues because the company, I can't remember the company's name right now that he works for, but they really mess him up while fixing him after Kane basically rips him apart. So after Robocop comes to his senses, he hunts down Kane, and yeah, he basically kills Kane. Not like on purpose, he probably wanted to, but yeah, Kane's like escaping in this truck, and Robocop jumps on the window and like smashes the window and makes the truck that Kane is driving crash. And so yeah, when Robocop is hunting down Kane and makes him crash the truck, Robocop's fine, but Kane ends up in basically like a coma-like state. And OCP's the company that made Robocop, and they're looking to make a Robocop 2, but instead of this time he's using a cop, which has failed many times in very miserable states. OCP, they use Kane, and he's like a murderer, a psycho, and they try to control his they turn him into a robot. They try to control his behaviors with like that drug nuke and stuff. And Yeah, so then Kane is in that robot's body, and of course he starts to malfunction or get kind of a mind of his own because his instinct to kill Robocop kicks in, and it's a battle between these two guys. But before they do that, they send Kane on a few missions, to go after the governor or something. And yeah, it's like that stop freeze animation, but from back in the day when it was brilliant. And this stuff looks fantastic. I know a lot of it's all miniatures and all that when Kane is interacting and attacking everyone, but it looks fantastic. Like, I don't know, Kane, I love this movie. Like, yeah, Kane's attack scene, like when he goes in on these people, it's just like they're inside of like industrial like area, and they're, Kane just like lifts open the door to this like garage. It's like they're in a garage type area, and Kane just lifts it up with his arm, and he's just like almost like a gorilla robot thing. Like, he looks menacing. He has a huge machine gun on his arm. Like, yeah, it's just a great scene. I love the shots of Kane. Like, I can't tell you how much I love it. Like, Kane is so cool. He's like a minigun on his arm. He has like, flashlights on him. You can't really see his face. It's like a closed off mask. He'll bring out his face and like on a screen, but he is just like, he works people. He shreds people. Like, he just goes in and like whoever he's after, he just starts blowing them away, shredding people to pieces with his minigun. Like, I remember seeing this as a kid and flipping out, loving it. Like, I thought this was the ultimate versus battle, Kane and Robocop, and even just seeing Kane thrash people to pieces, and like how gory this stuff was as a kid, it was just like so amazing to watch. Like, one of the best things ever. But yeah, and there's like a kid in this movie, and it's like an R-rated movie, and the kid, like, he's like a little tough guy, and it's just funny, man. Like, seeing that as a kid, this kid act like he's a 35-year-old crime boss, is just so funny. So out there, you're like, whoa, this kid's really grown up. But yeah, it's just a movie. But yeah, I can't tell you enough. Kane, like, when he fights Robocop 2 at the end, and they have their battle, Robocop versus Kane, like, that's such a good part. And also the part like where they're trying out Robocops, they're like presenting new Robocops with cops like in the robot bodies, and they're like, they're doing like a little demonstration and bringing them out. They're like, here's the next Robocop 2, and it's like not working because the cops, like, they can't really, like, they're not taking to the cyborg life, and they're just like killing themselves or killing other people or ripping their heads off or masks and exposing their insane like dead bodies. And yeah, the people are like, well, why did it work with Murphy, who's, Robocop? And they're like, well, he has like, his sense of duty was so strong that, like, being Robocop and being the crime fighter that he is, and just so dedicated to his job and so noble that, like, he pushes on as Robocop, and he can be a hero and still, he doesn't hate being a cyborg because he just has that mission. I mean, he does struggle with stuff like issues in this movie about his like past, and he has memories that don't really make sense, but it's just, it adds so much to the character. Like, they just don't do stuff like that. That new Robocop movie, I mean, some people said they like it. I couldn't even watch it. I just hated it. Like, I heard they're making a new Robocop that continues from this Robocop. Continues from Robocop 1. So, but I think they should have continued it from 2. Like, they should have had, if they're bringing out a new Robocop, it should be from the continuation to 2, not 3. 3, I don't even ever want to talk about. I don't even like Robocop 3. I hate it as a kid. I hate it now. But yeah, Robocop 1 and 2, then a new one, sure, I could be down with that. Because Kane, how can you delete the history of Kane? Like, at the end when he's like, I don't know, in that boardroom meeting and they're trying to show him off, and Robocop comes in, and like Kane's like trying to shoot him, but he can't because, he doesn't have access to his weapons right now. He like takes that controller out of that woman's hand, like crushes it in his hands, and like turns it on so he can like use his weapons, and he just starts like firing off like crazy and firing at Robocop. There's all these people ducking behind like, chairs, and Robocop standing up on the top of this platform with like, a huge gun to like take out Kane's weapons or whatever. But this stop animation for this part is so good. It's like brilliant. Like, I just wish they made movies like this. I know people like CGI, but maybe mask over some CGI with how they used to do things in movies. And yeah, like, wouldn't you just love that? Like, the quality in this movie, like, you couldn't get this quality if you tried anymore. And some people think this stuff is probably corny, cheesy. How could you even like it? But it's Robocop, son. Like, man up. It's Robocop from back in the day. When you were a kid watching this, your parents let you watch this? Like, that's hype. Let me know. Because my family let me watch everything. They let me play with every, like, gun and robot. And, you know, these movies affected me so much. I still love this movie. It's like, I remember, like, going to the store with my mom and getting it. And she'd show me this stuff. Like, look, honey, you're 5 years old, and here's Robocop. And people are getting their limbs blown out, their faces blown out, like people are getting shot, killed left and right. There's so much satirical humor in this, and like, you know, backhanded compliments, and it's the times. It was the 90s. It is amazing. I still love it today. Like, I just watched these back to back the other night, and you know, over the last 2 nights or whatever. And yeah, like I said, I waited the whole movie as usual to see the Kane and Robocop fight at the end, and Kane just walking through the hallways looking like a beast, and Robocop just doing the loyal thing. When they're in that elevator as well, like when Robocop's in the elevator and like cuts that cord, so he flies up and like Kane falls down, like Kane's like struggling, but like how he puts all his arms out and limbs out and stops himself from falling just like a boss. Like, I love that scene when he's falling down the elevator. It is so hype. Like, he just holds himself there. I'm thinking that was so cool as a kid. Like, how'd they do it? You kind of saw the miniature-ish like once I got older, but when I was like 5, like, I don't know how they do this. I thought Kane was like a real thing. I thought like cyborgs were real. Kane runs up through the elevator and jumps out, and they're both on that roof. And Kane's trying to hold on and pull himself up, and Robocop, like, he probably doesn't even care if he dies. Like, he doesn't even know if he'll live at this point, but they're both hanging off the side of a building. Robocop's like, "You're coming with me," or whatever. You know, he wants to pull Kane down. Yeah, I think he does say, "You're coming with me, Kane," and he's like, grabs him by the feet and like pushes off of the building. It's just hype. Like, I love it. I love it as a kid. They go falling down, crashing, you know, through you know, they hit the road. Thank God, like, nobody was killed, else was killed, and they like smashed through a roof, you know, through the road into like the underground. Yeah, it's just such a good old time. Like, the miniatures, and when they fight down there, that's pretty cool too. When they're fighting, like, you know, in the basement, you think Kane's dead, but Kane picks up Robocop's, like, just smashing him on these beams in the basement and stuff. Like, at the end too, like, you know, they're back up on the street, and, you know, Robocop or someone, Lois shows him the nuke, the drug, and like he becomes all docile from it. They're gonna give him what he wants, give him the drugs, calm him down. This is how you control a drug addict, by giving them what they want. But yeah, he gets all docile. "Oh, please, 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 give it to me. And then, you know, he grabs it and he's about to like take it in, and Mr. Good Old Robocop is of course behind him, ready to. You know, he jumps right on. Kane's like getting high. Kane's like sitting there, like taking the drug in. He's like wobbling. He's like actually stoned. The cyborg is stoned, like off of like some sort of heroin like drug. And Robocop just jumps on his back, son. It's so classic. He's like hanging on. He's like just in the right position where like Kane can't grab him like on his back. So he's like, he's out of control. He can't grab him. Of course, Robocop's like shooting into him and like rips out the brain of the cyborg and smashes his brain all over the streets. And it's like gooey and slimy, and it looked like a real brain and stuff. But I know I'm just going off on like what the movie is, but it was so cool as a kid. Like, I thought movies would get better and better like this as time went on, but you know, more like miniature stuff and more. It looks so real when it's miniatures. That's the part. Like, it's a real thing, right? So compared to like CGI, like, it doesn't have weight. Like, this looks like has weight and it's actually in the room. Some CGI is pretty good. I'm not gonna kid you wrong, but this movie, Robocop 2, a classic. I could go off forever. I didn't even talk about the first one, but I did watch that too. But I love number 2. I love Robocop 2. You can't get any better than that. Well, you can, but I mean, it's just for what it is, type of movie, the 90s, VHS and Memories special. Hope you like it, and yeah, Robocop 2, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Alrighty, next topic, I guess. Well, let's talk about OnlyFans now. What is OnlyFans? Well, it's a site. You have to be 18 plus. It's a site where you can, people can subscribe. I know for $4.99 monthly. So reoccurring subscription based platform. I know it's kind of strange, but yeah, you just share pictures on there and videos with people, and it, not everyone, but it's basically more like risque kind of stuff, obviously, because you have to be 18 to join, which I kind of like because then like younger people aren't giving you your money, so it's cool that way. I've thought of doing other things in the past, of course, Patreon and stuff, but it's like I never knew what to do on that. I was like, this is weird, but I like this because you are offering like a service. I like, you're offering like exclusive pics and content, and yeah, my stuff is out there. It's a little risque. I mean, I guess that's another part of my personality. I'm not really a sexual person at all in this form. Like, my male sex drive was high, but my sex drive now is really low. Like, if I was with a woman, she would have a higher sex drive with me than me. That's very strange to think about. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm an entertainer at the end of the day. When I was like a little kid, I probably wanted to be a stripper at some point. So it's like, I guess I'm a little bit of an online stripper now. But it's just like, I like to entertain, like YouTube. I try many things. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, like Tumblr, social medias, It all started like on Instagram, everything, like my content in general, like that's where I got the confidence to come out and yeah, be a creator. And, even if I was just posting my collection or toy vids, but, I mostly just posted selfies, and then I got into some more body shots, and I thought it was just like trans positivity, body positivity type stuff. And yeah, I got really into that. And yeah, then recently, I guess the last few months, I'm getting reported on Instagram more than ever, and people are reporting the pics and all this stuff. So a couple pics got removed, and they're not even that bad. Me and my underwear, like, there's so much worse. There's violent stuff on YouTube, and they're getting mad at me. So I was like, oh man, that kind of sucks. Like, just having fun, and a few people, two basic individuals, did ask me like, oh, you ever thought of doing like some exclusive stuff like on Snapchat where you can actually put stuff like that and people pay for it? I'm like, it's kind of weird. I didn't know where my morals lie. I guess I do now, but no, I did think about it for a while, and I don't know anything about Snapchat. I don't even know how that works, but yeah, I follow a lot of like porn stars on Instagram and stuff, and I always see them using OnlyFans. I was like, what's that about? So I looked into it, and it seemed really simple, and you can sign up and see if you get approved, and I did. So I was like, okay, maybe this is where I'll move that stuff, and I'll still have some stuff and promoting it, of course, on Instagram, even though I'm promoting heavily right now, but I'm just trying to get it out there, and there's a lot of just a lot of stuff out there. So you're like trying to promote new stuff and get it out there and see if people like it and see if it's worth doing. And yeah, if you support me on anything though, this is just extra, totally extra. I do YouTube strictly for a passion. I don't know if my channel will ever get monetized. I don't really care. I'm so happy with the subscriber base I have, and I'm just growing. I don't care like if it takes me forever to get like 10,000 subscribers. I mean, that would be the main goal, of course. That'd be so cool, but I'm just here like having fun. And if you support me on anything, like, just liking, watching, sharing my content, thank you. That's enough, dog. Like, for real, like, that goes hella far. And yeah, I'm just happy to be here and have people support. And if I can do other things and actually give people other exclusive content, get paid, well, sure, I'll do that, I guess, with this stuff. I wouldn't do like that for YouTube videos or any stuff like that, but, this is more risque, and it's good because, like, only people over 18 can join and blah, 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 so you're protected with that stuff, and yeah, why not? And it's working out. I got people there already subscribing and tipping. I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy, but thank you so much. And yeah, that's what it is. I'm just trying to be real with you. I haven't brought it up on the channel yet. That's why I like this podcast format. I can just bring stuff up like this, and just like I always say, I'm trying to be transparent, mate. Transparent. transparent. But I really am, and that's what it's all about. That's what this is all about. The only other thing I'd like to get besides getting my channel monetized, it would be cool to get some merch going down the road. I mean, a lot of people still want that, and I still like I said, I'm not greedy for all this, so I'm gonna do it still slowly and get some new logos and stuff made hopefully here soon. Then maybe think about a couple shirts or stickers or mugs. That'd be kind of cool, and go from there. But yeah, OnlyFans, make sure you're 18 years old to sign up. And I'll probably be running a promotion while this podcast is on, so it'll be like half off or something for signing up. So probably like $250 or something, $299. But yeah, go from there, and that's what that's all about. I'm an entertainer in so many ways. I like to entertain. I don't know. People said they're enjoying it. It's kind of like, to me, it's like, well, people are really enjoying this, but sure, why not, I guess. Anywho, we'll wrap this podcast up pretty quick here. Maybe one more topic, and yeah, thanks for listening. Hey, y'all know I'm a huge Eminem fan, so I'd like to talk about this quickly before we go, but Logic brought out a song recently called Homicide featuring Eminem, where they both did their thing. In the video, in the song, it was really awesome. Like, they killed it. I'm not even a huge Logic fan, but Logic did a great job, and it was cool. Eminem's part was amazing. The verse is sick as hell. Like, he's talking about bringing the fingerless gloves back, and he's wearing the do-rag or whatever, talking about do-rags and stuff, so you're just like, you're hyped on this. You're like, yeah, this is one of the best Eminem verses I've heard in a long time, and I absolutely love that verse. He kills it. Like, he just destroys it. But so they brought out a video the other day, yesterday or the day before. No, yesterday, 28th. So they brought out a video yesterday for Homicide, and everyone's like, whoa, we didn't know they're dropping a video. So they dropped the video, and it's like so funny. It's like Logic at the beginning, and they tell him like Eminem can't make it to the video or whatever, so they have to get a body double for Eminem and for Logic, so they get like Squints or whatever they get Squints from The Sandlot, that movie The Sandlot, to play Logic in the video, and it's like Logic's flipping out, like, I can't believe it. Like, this video is so crazy. You're just like, what is going on here? And the big catch of it all is it has that comedian. They featured this comedian, Chris. What was it, Chris Dele or something? I can't really say it that well. So yeah, that comedian Chris Delia, or however you say it, he makes Eminem impressions. He's a stand-up comedian. He goes, napkins with flapkins. I'm rapping in flapkins and napkins. Matter of fact, tapkins. Yeah, so he did that and impersonates Eminem, and it's actually really funny. First time I saw it, it was like on TMZ or something. I was laughing my butt off, and I was like, holy, this guy's like really funny. And they feature him on the end of that Homicide track doing that, and like, Japkins, flapkins, matter of factins, and they feature him at the end of that Homicide track. And then in this video they have him dressed up as Eminem, like when they do the imposters, or you have people playing them in the video. So has the guy from The Sandlot's playing Logic, and then you could go to Eminem, and it's that comedian Chris playing Eminem, and it's awesome. Like, I can't believe it. It's so good. It's like the best marketing and the best like idea. Like, whoever came up with this is a pure genius idea. That guy was kind of making fun of Eminem, and Eminem puts him at the end of the song, and Logic put him at the end of the song and shouting him out, and then he blew up from it. He couldn't believe it. He is an Eminem fan, actually. Like, if you watch Chris's stuff, like, he actually really does like Eminem. He just likes to clown because, Eminem's getting older and stuff. But they feature him, and he dresses up like Eminem, and they even show him like on this little TV, like rapping and stuff. Like, and he's wearing the do-rag, the old Eminem glasses, and the sweatsuits, and he's wearing the fingerless gloves, and it's just like, it's classic Eminem. If you loved old school Eminem and miss real hip hop and sick of all that mumbo jumbo, need ears that are Dumbo sized to hear that crap, it's like, out with the mumbo. We got real lyricists in the game again, Logic, Eminem. There's so many, and so many good things are happening again in rap, and it's cool to see kind of Eminem on top, and that's the perfect way they did that stuff. It made Eminem look kind of cool and young again in a weird way, and it made like that Chris guy, he's gonna explode now. His career is gonna like quadruple. It probably has already overnight, and he'll just be bigger than he already is. That's amazing. But yeah, I love Eminem. And that was an awesome way they did that. So I had to bring that up. But yeah, and that's like another good thing. See, I can express how I feel about the Eminem Eminem on this podcast and stuff like that, and talk about whatever. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. And if you watch the whole podcast, let me know down in the bottom. And yeah, if you have any questions for the next podcast, leave that down there in the comments as well. So thank you so much. I hope this was okay. I don't know. I tried to figure out how to flow and how to get into this. So, it could be a couple podcasts till I start really just flowing like a madman, but mad woman, mad dolphin, whatever, however clever I said for each verse. I'm such a nerd. But yeah, thank you for being here. And yeah, till next time, it's your favorite dolphin signing off on 94.101 FM. Catch you later, dog.